So let's start with the coordinator search. It is round and round. And, they're not obviously, no McDaniels.
Hi, Joe. 1/4 of your bones in your body are in your feet.
I'm sorry. 1/4 of the bones in my body are my feet?
Mm-hmm. 26 bones in each foot, meaning 52 bones out of the body's 206.
It's a really remarkable
meaning
fact.
25% of your bones are in your feet.
Shows you that some bones are bigger than others in other parts.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't show that.
Well, I mean, essentially. I mean, I can deductive No, I don't mean like that. The femur. Deductive reasoning. I mean, you got a lot of other parts of your body, and, I'm just saying. Good morning to Nick Foles. So, 215-592-9494. All right, let's get to it. So, all right, a few things. First off, Jeff McClain's tweet from yesterday. He tweeted, with Mike McDaniel headed to the Chargers and signs increasingly pointing Brian Daboll toward the Bills' head coaching job, or, and this is the part that's annoying, or Titans' offensive coordinator job, meaning he prefers Titans instead of Eagles OC if it comes down to that. As Diana Rossini reported, the Eagles would have missed out on two of their top offensive coordinator candidates and two of the top names around the league.
We were told they were our top two targets.
Yeah. So this is getting, I think, increasingly...
Not just the two of the top.
Yeah,
they were number one and number two.
As reported, that's right. And I also want to get something Diana Rossini said. This was 2 days ago on WIP with the afternoon show. Listen to this exchange with Spike.
Do you think the Eagles' offensive coordinator job is an attractive job?
No, I don't. I think coordinators that are on this list are aware that navigating Philly is difficult. And I mean, because of the way it's set up right now, who's on the team, and really what it's going to look like in the next few months.
All right. So, and also, Jeff McClain also reported on Twitter. He says McDaniel and Daboll would have been given autonomy over the offense. Sources said there are a few remaining candidates that would have leverage to get authority, but that doesn't mean Nick Sirianni won't hand over the offense depending upon the coach. So here's the main question I want to drive at today with everyone at 215-592-9494. How concerned are you by this? That, it appears the Eagles have struck out on their two top offensive coordinating candidates. Does it worry you? And what do you think it says about this post? How attractive it is or isn't? Because it doesn't appear to be, landing spot number one for people out there. What do you make of the whole thing? 215-592-9494. John, how does this settle with you?
This is bad. And it continues to be the major problem that we're dealing with every offseason when this is going to happen. The offense stinks. There's going to be a firing. The offense is great. There's going to be a hiring away.
That is a pretty good simplified version of it. You're not wrong.
And it's all it. And why I attribute this the way that I do. It's because it was a change of plans with the head coach. He wasn't the head coach that they thought they were getting initially. My worry now is, there's so many levels to the strangeness that exists within our organization, and we're giving these other coaches a glimpse inside at the strangeness. And I wonder things like, do we need to move on from Jeff Stoutland?
No.
In order to, you say no.
No, I do say no.
I tell you, McDaniel is not here in part because he's an unbelievable offensive run game deviser and play caller and coordinator. Why on earth would he say, oh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, whatever Jeff Stoutland says, that's what we'll do for the run game. That does not fly. Brian Daboll, why would he say, yeah, oh, yeah, totally, yeah, Jeff Stoutland, all right, run game, bring him on. These are prideful guys who have an offense and they have a run game and they have a way they want to do it. I'm telling you, I think it might be problematic that Howie's saying, hey, by the way, your run game will be taken care of by this man. Everything else, have full autonomy.
Let me address that, John. Let me just address that. Here's why I don't go where you go there. Jeff Stoutland has been a part of two teams that have won a Super Bowl and largely dominated an era because of a run game. with probably about 9 different starting offensive linemen. I guess other than landing.
You're trying to convince me?
No,
they're trying to convince these coaches
I'm just telling,
who are trying to implement their offense.
If Mike McDaniel doesn't want to work with Jeff Stoutland, I don't want Mike McDaniel. I mean, I'm being serious. Right. I've had all sorts of offensive line change.
If you want the
Lane
best
Johnson.
offensive coordinator, you need to change your thinking. Okay. If you want the best of the best, that's what's going to happen. They're going to walk when they see how dysfunctional this thing is.
I can accept that.
It's convoluted, and Howie and Jeffrey, for all the greatness that they've heaped upon us with these teams, they've missed the major problems that they're also creating by hiring essentially the antithesis of Chip Kelly, the last 2 head coaching hires. The roster made this team successful. It has elevated some coaches. We've seen what happens. They get head coaching jobs on the outside. It's happened twice. That is why this place is still slightly appealing. But I think it's possible that coaches are immediately turned off by the idea that this team is run by its GM and owner. Think about the fact that Mike McDaniel and Brian Daboll are head coaches who were just fired. They come in here and they realize that this head coach is not the one who's interviewing them. They realize that this head coach is, I don't even know.
He's not the final decision maker on who gets hired. He's probably involved in the hiring process, but not the guy. So how do you
think they perceive that? What?
Well,
this is a wonky situation. Yeah. So you've got pre-existing, and I think it's possible these coaches, they look at that and they say, hold on, how Dallas is this? Think about it.
No, I understand.
I mean, you don't know automatically. So you've got pre-existing conditions that exist. We're not talking about insurance here. We're talking about, for this team, someone else controls the run game, offensive coordinator, but you'll have full autonomy, except for, Nick is going to want to do some of his stuff, as we saw, and every once in a while, we're not sure exactly how that's going to be handled, but we're going to try to minimize that. Also, the city is rough. The city is tough on you. We can't hide the fact that, the last offensive coordinator got his house egged and, it gets nasty at times. I just can't imagine, again, the fact that the defensive coordinator, who everyone loves, was hired by the GM before the head coach was hired. If that becomes a part of
He wasn't. Vic Fangio was not hired before Sirianni. He came in when Sirianni was already. You're thinking of Jim Schwartz getting hired before Doug Peterson.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's the way that they operate. They know what they want. The front office knows, and then it's like what Nick wants is secondary.
All
the
right,
coach.
so,
how does that make a coach?
No, I get
feel?
it. I get
also,
it. Well, there's also
like if the head guy is chopped down to here, then what happens to the rest of us coaches?
Yeah, no, look, there's a lot of points in there with John I agree with. Some I don't, but I think it is concerning. Let's just start with that. Obviously, you can weigh in 215-592-9494. How concerned are you that the Eagles appear to be striking out on their top, candidates? Does it worry you? And why do you think it's happening? So, a few things.
It's not just the front office. It's not just the coaches. It's the play of the entire offense as well. It's the play of the quarterback as well. It wasn't good enough. And it doesn't help that the star wide receiver and the quarterback are on shaky terms.
There's no question.
You've got a lot of uncertainty. Yeah. In it with a fan base that is ravenous for success.
I know. Look, obviously it concerns me. I think you'd be stupid to think it doesn't. Now, does it concern me as much as probably others? No, because I think this whole coordinator thing has been so overblown, over-discussed for 5 months, it's beyond belief. I mean, the fact that after the season of watching the players play, that we had a poll that overwhelmingly said the coaches were more responsible than the players, to me, is insanity. So I just find that beyond belief ridiculous. But that's the way a lot of people around here have been thinking. I don't see it that way, but a lot of people do. So as it pertains to trying to get your top guys, they haven't. And look, to the points John made, I mean, he hit a lot of points to me that are the wise. I do think the Jalen on and off field thing is a reality. Not the easiest to work with off the field, we hear, and obviously not particularly adept at passing the ball on the field. Not to mention not as willing to run the ball. I mean, if he's willing to run the ball, it's a different quarterback, different offense.
If you're a teacher of football, you should be able to teach anyone
football. The Hurts thing, I think, is a setback. You don't even know what kind of health you get on the offensive line. Do I have Lane Johnson? Do I don't? Do I have a healthy Dickerson and Juergens, or do I not? So that's troubling. The AJ thing, obviously, like he's probably not going to be on the team. If he is, him and the quarterback might not get along so well. So, like, there's a lot. And then the Sirianni role, like, is he dipping his toe into it? Is he dipping 5 toes into it? Is he dipping 2 feet into it? Like, who really actually is in charge? So you got that. And I got to tell you, John said it, but let me bring it back because I cannot emphasize enough how much I do not think this is like a 10-second gloss over. The intensity around here led fools to egg the last guy's house. And the shame of it is that I don't even know if they ever found those guys. That might have been 2 people. That might have been 10 people. I don't know what it was. But I do know this. We all get tagged with it. That's Philadelphia sports fans egged Kevin Petullo's house. Every coordinator in football knows it. Everyone. And you know who also knows it? The wives of the candidates. Because when the wives talk to the candidates, the men that are their husband, about, all right, we got 7 openings. Maybe there's 4 of them we're really interested in. Honey, let's put together pros and cons. Let's put the ledger on a piece of paper. There's pros here. I mean, there's 3 guys in the last 4 years or 3 years that have gotten a head coaching job from here. 3. You know, I mean, 2 on offense, 1 on defense. Like, there's a lot of success here. There's a lot on the pro side of the ledger. There's a lot on the pro side. But, like, don't kid yourself. Those kids that egg the house, that is a freaking setback in hiring a coordinator. Because the wives know that the last guy's house got egged. And that's tough, man. That's tough for the dude that's going to be the OC. That's tough for the what? Yeah, sure, let's saddle up there. Sure. It's a problem. It's a problem.